right. Don't look, OSHA. Nothing to see here. All right, I need to sharpen the blades on my bush hog. And you probably can't see in here, it's a little dark. They definitely need it. They still have a pretty decent edge on it, to be honest with you. So, what kind of cheap bastard am I where I'm going to sharpen the blades on this instead of just swapping these out because they're not that expensive? But I have decided that, so it is April the 6th. We are right in the middle of this damn coronavirus thing. And I am actually on leave of absence from my job. I'm an aircraft mechanic for Delta Airlines. And as you know, at this particular date and time, the airlines are just being pummeled along with everybody else while we're going through this whole thing. And I have chosen to take a leave. So my wife and I, we have just talked about this and everything that's going on, and I've just decided that I am going to go as cheap as I possibly can on everything because, you know, it's just my wife and I. We don't have any kids, but, you know, it's a lot to keep up with a horse farm. You know, she works her tail off to, you know, take care of the horses and vet bills and farrier bills and feed and unexpected things that come up and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, I try to take care of farm equipment and just fuel alone, and especially in the summertime for cutting grass and all the various things. So, you know, more so than your average household, you know, we have some expenses that go into maintaining this place. So, you know, we just kind of challenged ourselves a little bit to let's just see how low we can go as far as expenses are concerned. So instead of me buying blades, I'm going to sharpen them. And it's not the ideal thing that I want to do. I choose to replace those, but in this case I'm just going to stick to my challenge here, and I'm going to see, you know, how cheap we can go on things. So I might be doing some questionable repair work around here until all this stuff blows over, but you know, we're just going to do it right now. It's starting to get a little scary. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put I got the grinding wheel on my DeWalt grinder there, and we're just going to get in there and start making some sparks. Let's do it. Let's see how I did on sharpening those rotary cutter blades, bush hog blades. So I just ran over this area right here. Let's see how we did. Okay, so you can see we have kind of a diagonal cut on that. Here's one right here where it took it off at a nice 90 degree. That one right there is at a nice 90 degree. So it's not terrible, as opposed to when they're really dull. You know, a bush hog blade is not going to be all that sharp anyway. It's not going to be like a lawnmower blade. But when they get really dull, all it does is just really, it just beats the grass into submission. And over time, it just makes the grass that you're cutting really start to break down, and it's not going to be a good, healthy grass. So it is good to keep those changed out or to keep them sharp. But in the mode that I'm in right now, where I am trying to conserve as much money as possible, because the state of the industry that I work in and my current status of being on leave, I am just going to continue down this road of trying to save as much money as I can. So this year, for those blades, it was just going to be to sharpen them up. It did okay. I can tell that it's cutting it much better than it was just a week or so ago. What really brought my attention to it was I did the first cut on the pasture out front, and it was just really bogging down, going through grass that really wasn't all that high. It was a little bit thick, but it wasn't all that thick. And I just knew right then that those blades really needed some help. So anyway, I actually got a pretty good edge on them. I was kind of surprised that I thought they'd be a little bit more stubborn. Those blades are normally pretty hard. A lot of people use them to beat down small trees and some heavier stuff than just grass, and I do that too. But I've actually got a brush cutter for that now on my skid steer. So I don't use my bush hog for that kind of stuff as much anymore. But anyway, it actually put a pretty decent edge on those blades, so I think that's going to work out okay. All right, so I am in a mode of keeping everything as cheap as I possibly can for a while, and I am going to have plenty to do during this time that I have off. On to the next job.